Hello. The global tourism and hospitality industry is facing an unprecedented human resources and talent management issue where a lot of our employees have left the industry for different careers, especially during COVID. As most of the tourism hospitality organizations had to stop their operations or they had to reduce their staff, a lot of people had to look for alternative careers. And many of them, they've decided to stay outside the tourism hospitality industry. This has created a global phenomenon of lack of resources that we need to have for our human resources that we need to have in tourism and hospitality, and that has created a huge range of operational processes as you have seen in airlines, in airports, in hotels, in restaurants all over the world. In many occasions, this means that hotels and restaurants cannot operate in full capacity, and they've been reduced to operate in a much lower kind of capacity than optimal. Many people are asking me when are people going to come back in the tourism hospitality industry, and what are they going to do, and how can we resolve this issue? I think there's a more important phenomenon behind this. For many years, we knew that many people in tourism hospitality were working extremely hard and they were not necessarily paid or compensated sufficiently. We knew that living conditions were not ideal, and we knew that many people could not have a life work balance because they were asked to do a whole range of different things in unsociable hours or in times that they were not appropriate for their well-being or for their social life. That means that a lot of the people that they were forced during COVID to find alternative careers, they then decided to stay on those careers. And although there's a nostalgia, especially for people with specific skills like chefs and people who work in kitchens or people who work on the front line, they're missing the consumers and they're missing the travelers and they're missing the human interaction. But nevertheless, they are looking to different careers. So what do we need to do? I think one strategy is to keep looking for more for people who are more desperate and they are willing to work in the conditions that the industry is offering. The second thing is really we need to look after our people and start providing facilities, services, and compensation that really reflects the amount of work and sacrifice that people are doing. We need to see employees as internal consumers, and we need to develop a whole range of programs from awareness, from onboarding, from training and promotion and career planning, all the way to retirement in this industry. And we need to be able to support them, not only them, but also their families in a very individualized, contextualized, and personalized kind of way. So some people may like to work weekends, some people may like to work morning, some people want to work in the afternoon, some people have got family commitments and they would like to operate in different times. So it's not about 8 hours, it's not about normal working times, it's not always working from the office. You may be working from many different places. For example, a friend of mine is a revenue manager. She doesn't need to go to the office every day. She can work at the times that she's available and to meet her family commitments around that. The second thing is to look into how we can reorganize work and how can we reorganize work and re-engineer everything we do in this industry in order to make sure that we operate much more efficiently. A lot of the things that employees are doing is not very efficient. And a lot of the things that we keep replicating different things. I've just checked it in a hotel. They asked me again to write down my name, to give them my telephone number, my mobile number, and my email, and to fill a form. We shouldn't need to do these things because a lot of these things can be taken care of technology. We really need to look into different industries, how they manage to operate in a much more efficient ways. Amazon comes to mind, and a lot of the distribution, the logistics industries, but also look at airlines and how airlines have been operating in many different ways. So technology and smartness will need to replace a lot of the manual work and repetitive work that people were doing. And robots may be replacing some of the things that people do not want to do. I don't know of anybody who would like to be a dishwasher or even worse, a pot washer. Yes, there are some desperate people who are fulfilling these roles, but I'm not sure that they would love to do that. So it's really about how can we use technology in order to replace and take away some of the manual work, and how can we use smartness to re-engineer all the strategies and all the processes to be able to operate in a much more efficient way. So the human resources issue and the talent management issue will be with us for a while. And I don't think we're going to go back to the 90s or the 80s because the conditions have changed dramatically. Think about whether you will advise your son or your daughter to actually do any of the jobs that we have got in tourism and hospitality. And really think about who are the people who are going to take us forward. So I think the important thing is to really reflect realistically what's happening, to really look into individualized career plans and talent management based on the needs and the requirements of individuals as internal customers. Then we need to look into mechanics and robotics in taking away a lot of the very hard tasks that people do under inhumane conditions. And then we need to look into smartness and make sure that smartness is changing a lot of the processes that are not necessary, but we've been doing them for a while. I hope that this kind of opens a discussion for you and you think creatively about what can we do with the talent in the tourism hospitality industry and how can we go forward in the future. Thank you.